1500 gold item that could get you a faster Sanj, or a faster Sanj and Yasha, or a faster Ags, whatever you want to go for your follow-up item. But I'm sure we'll see a Vanguard here.
So do you agree with the panel saying that, or rather, maybe not the panel, right? It was Lacoste who said, this Bristle seems like, the cherry on top of the sundae, so to speak, that he feels like they got outdrafted over on Undying because of their pickup choices.
It is kind of nice, yeah, because it's going to be difficult to kill the guy. Chen pressure against it is less effective because he's just got so much survivability. And then on top of that, it's also going to give them the frontliner that they need to make it easier for Snapfire and Disruptor to set things up. Whether that's Bristle running at people and then glimpsing somebody back, or it's them like jumping around the team fight with PA or Mars looking for openings. So having somebody tanky for these guys that are highly mobile or squishy is a really good solution.
I'm excited to just realize we're going to get the Thunderdome, right, with the Mars Arena and then the Static Storm inside.
And with some nice cannons from the Mourner's Kisses.
Ooh, excellent.
Yep. Little lava pits in there.
Sounds like quite the fighting arena, one that even the Romans couldn't have thought of.
Probably not.
I don't think they put cannons in there.
I don't know real lore, I'm sorry.
It's all right, we won't hold that
Actual lore. That one I feel bad about. Video game lore, okay, I don't give a shit. But real lore, I'm guilty, dude. Very embarrassed.
I'm sure someone will tweet at you and fill you in, don't worry.
Just link me a Wikipedia account and an article, it'll be fine. So he does actually end up grabbing Divine Favor on level 1 for the Brute. It's not uncommon for Chens to go Holy Persuasion instead to grab a creep just to right-click with this, but he's just going to right-click his opponent. He's going to give him and his ally an extra 1.5 regen per second and 1 more armor. So just basically going to play normal for the first level, right-clicking his opponent and trying to offset whatever damage he takes. But it's going to be a little hard. Like, Duna's going to do a lot of damage here with all this physical. And because Chen's base armor is quite low, so it might be a little bit hard for him to offset that fully.
Well, it does help, though, that little bit of a buff, kind of ensuring that the laning phase goes a little bit nicer. But this middle matchup here between Shaggy and Bryle, how do we think that's going to go down?
It should be fine. I mean, Shaggy's going to be able to offset a lot of the damage with Bristleback, and obviously there's Meld Strikes, which are a little bit scary, but I think Shaggy's going to be okay. Once he gets Bottle, it'll be fine. He can push very well, so he can help offset the push that Bryle goes for. I don't really expect to see a kill, frankly, because if Bryle saves Refraction for the best moment, then he should be very survivable here, but they're both going to farm well.
That Meld Strike just lasts so long. It's actually kind of ridiculous. So a lot of negative armor in this middle lane. And it is something a little bit different for Shaggy. He's typically known for playing the Void Spirit, the Ember Spirit especially, and the OD, so...
It fits his playstyle, though, because he very much likes running at his opponents and causing space as a result. Bristle's like that. It's just less of a high mechanically skilled hero is all.
It does feel weird, though. Like, it's just specifically for this draft that they decided to go for the Bristle, because you don't see that being run mid anymore.
Yeah.
We saw some of the tankier sort of here. Oh, Jubei, though, he's taking a lot of damage, and there it is. That's the first blood rises. He's going to get chased down over here in the tree line. He'll blink away and get clicked down. Drops the spray here.
Yeah, it's a tough one.
It's a double for Moon.
Both teams have very strong offlane combos right now, but hey, it's safe to pick in the first phase. That's what most teams are doing. They pick an offlaner, they pick their 4 so that they guarantee they have a great dual lane, and then that leaves them some good opportunities later on. Tomato being pressured now, Spear to the side.
Yeah, that's a nice combination. It's going to do a lot of damage to Tomato, and he's just getting slowly clicked down. Looks like he'll survive, but just barely.
Was really close. I mean, it's such a cool combo. Blightstone plus Lil Shredder lowers his armor bunch, and then Zero uses God's Reek, which is a physical damage skill. So it's a cool way to just do a huge amount to Tomato. He gets salved, though. That'll stabilize him.
Sitting so low. They'll get themselves a revenge kill. Jubei, though, does get clicked down. Moon Meander gets himself yet another kill. Moon's having a great game down here.
He is. That should be his earn coming, I think. And that's going to make things a lot harder, because earn this early into the game, it's like 200 magic damage. That's equivalent to like 2 skill points of an ability, so his impact will be strong. But it's got to get 1 more kill to unlock this. It's certainly possible against Disruptor, though. And in fact, Jubei's walking back to lane because he had died recently, so...
Oh, look at this damage from Bryle. Ooh.
Hits him. Rise's bottom is going to die too, it looks like.
Things are just unraveling here for Black and Yellow. They're having a lot of difficulty in these lanes. Look at how low. 14 hit points on Rises.
That was close.
Ooh.
And this is literally all because Jubei died twice in a row there. If Jubei doesn't have these mistakes, then Rises can blink strike to Jubei instead of taking so many right clicks. They can just turn and fight a little bit, potentially get a trade. Instead, this zones them from the lane again. It means Rises not last hitting. And it means they cost them an extra salve.
Top lane, though, they're going to try to put some damage over onto Dunya, but not going to be able to follow up too much. And again, this is kind of a strange lane with that Ember and the Chen. Moon Meander, though, realizing that he could probably just teleport away. They don't have any points yet in that glimpse, it looks like, so it's going to be fine.
So Moon Meander TPing back, but he'll Sukuchi back to the wave just fine. See if they can pressure Saberlight in the meantime. Tough for Shaggy that he ends up getting solo killed, though. But that's 2 games in a row now. Braille just outplaying his opponent. Makes sense for TI caliber players that you get those powerful kills. He is going to deward his small camp, so that's 1 negative going towards him. So that he hasn't been able to profit from that when the lane gets a little bit spooky.
Yeah, they've got some nice wards in place to make sure that they block off some of these camps, so Braille can't accelerate as fast as he might like. And he is sitting at the level 6 now, where Shaggy's a little bit behind. But did have some difficulties during the laning stage. Feels like these laning is just really rough on black and yellow. Jubei out of mana here. They have the gush. That negative armor is just so nasty. So they'll just click down Jubei, and Rises, he dove in for this. He's got to be very careful because they do have the vessel charges,
Shaggy,
or the earth charges
lane.
rather.
Shaggy mid lane.
Shaggy just...
Oh, he will live?
Oh!
Holy shit. I thought he was dead for sure. I watched that whole fight. I'll explain in a second if Rises can live. If not,
it's not looking like...
Here.
Oh, can they get another hit off? They're taking a lot of tower shots here as Jubei rejoining. It looks like they won't find Rises. Moon, he's sitting very low. He's going to try to move himself away, but he's going to take too much damage. So he will fall as both of them sit so low on the side of black and yellow.
So that kill that Shaggy got was insane, actually. He basically started on the small camp. Brawl went to contest it, put a trap down. Shaggy goes back in and all of a sudden eats like a fully charged trap. So it was kind of a big mistake, but with that long chase when he almost killed him, he eventually did proc barely enough quills to get the kill. So I can't believe, I thought Shaggy messed up real bad, but he quilled just enough. So that was a huge moment for Shaggy. He gets a solo kill and he gets to farm the lane for an extra 20 seconds.
That definitely feels good after getting solo killed earlier. The glimpse back here, coming out from Jubei. I feel like he's constantly having to buy so much regen here in this bottom lane to try to keep Rises and himself alive. It's very difficult as Moon does back off. Jump forward though from Rises. Very aggressive. Saberlight rejoining down the bottom lane though. Looks like he's got the salve.
Yeah, he just offsets it. It would have been a great move if not. I mean, you still could do it anyways, of course, but rough one here for black and yellow. Their safe lane is not getting as much as they want. This is going to mean Saberlight hits 6 real early here, most likely. And here comes the salve from the courier. So Jubei will be a little low, but they do have some kill potential here.
This harassment is unreal coming out from Undying, but black and yellow, they seem to have found their footing again. They're surviving a little bit better. Bryle's going to be continuing to farm up. Moon clicks away and just keeps Jubei so low, like no mana, no health. Shaggy's doing some nice farming over here in the enemy jungle. That feels very bad for this TA, and Rises finds a kill on Moon.
Nicely done. Moon was doing great at first. He was basically zoning 2 heroes from the creep wave, and that's like the last time the camera looked there, Rises was not last hitting. Until that very moment where Rises kills Moon, he basically was getting nothing out of this lane. So Moon accomplished a lot, but they were barely able to kill him with the amount of damage they had. And he's going to do the thing that everybody learns in the first like 20 games of Dota, is that PA can last hit with Dagger, and that's going to keep him safe for now. So considering how things have gone so far, Rises is recovering okay here. It's definitely going better than I expected it would.
Team Undying is making their way into this bottom portion of the oh my goodness, I said Rises jungle. I mean, it is Rises jungle, but it's Radiant. And they're going to try to put some damage out here. They've got the Stone Golem. Going to chase after Rises. Couple clicks with that bug, and they'll get their target. So the pressure is on as Undying looks to pressure the tower, and of course they have everything that they need, right? They've got this whole army, they've got the Ravage on Tidehunter. It's very spooky for black and yellow to try to defend, I think.
Yeah, it was a nice little gank by Dubu. Did the old like summon a new creep, and then with the dead Mud Golems you get extra nuke out of it. So gets the pressure, and now beating up on this tower with his level 4 Shaggy's going to try to defend it though. He's got Vanguard. Very good chance that he does. Like, he basically just can't die here.
This creep's taking a lot of damage from all the quills that he's spreading. Push back and turn their attention over to Jubei. He's going to just glimpse away Moon. He's doesn't want to be bothered with him, but they are invading.
I'm a little surprised to see Shaggy moving into the jungle here, right? But they basically can't dive into Bristle. This is the really nice thing about Black and Yellow's draft. Killing Shaggy's going to be really difficult for a while here.
Getting into place here. Pressure on, coming out from Undying. They'll slow down Dunya. Cookie Hop forward, though. They'll jump back in over onto Moon Meander. As they do manage to get an arena off in the bottom. And they'll clean up over in the mid lane. Top lane like that.
So Tomato almost dying, but certainly Zero was the closest of the two. But Zero's doing great. 51 last hits versus Ember's 55. Things are stabilizing fine. The tower didn't die despite the Chen rotation because Bristle was such a good pick here. This is really what they got out of their draft. And he's also got tons of armor too. He's almost got phase boots plus the Vanguard. So even if the damage block isn't enough, he's going to help offset a lot of the minus armor that Undying's working with. And if Chen isn't successful in these like tower kills or hero kills as much, he's going to struggle on levels, which is kind of what we're seeing right now. But Tom will catch him up, see if he gets killed though.
Ooh, the jump over onto Dubu. Jubei's here, so is Dunya. And they'll punish him for being on their side of the map.
Yeah, this ward they placed earlier was really helpful. It's not super common for Radiant players to defend their jungle here, but I guess if their tower's alive, it kind of makes sense. Shaggy's pressuring the mid lane, kind of giving up on defending his safe lane tower, and instead trying to trade out the enemy mid instead. Which is not a terrible idea, because killing that tower is going to make it harder for Undying to contest Roshan. So if he can get this and they lose their tower, I think it's a good trade-off. Amun again stealing the rune. Oh man, tough one. They would have loved to have that on a Bristleback.
Oh yeah, being able to dodge in and out of fights like that makes life so much easier and exactly the way that he likes to skirmish. Ryle just continuing to farm here in the mid lane, just trying to put out some harass over onto Shaggy, get him off of the buildings. But like you said, he's a very difficult hero to kill early on. And they need a lot of resources to deal with him if they want to actually make something happen.
Tough thing with Bristle is you got to stay alive. If you do make a catastrophic mistake, it could be really bad for you. This is looking not good.
Big jump here. The Melt Strike followed with the Ravage. These Snap Focuses do a lot of damage. Hand of God comes out. They've already taken out Shaggy.
It collapsed so well. Perfect kill on Shaggy. That's what you got to do. Break the Bristle, get him a little bit behind in net worth.
Oh, look at Zero. He's trying to run from Moon. They have the trap. They'll slow him a little bit. They'll throw one of those earn charges on Zero. Couple clicks off. Is it going to be enough? Nice cookie hop from Dunya. Zero just barely staying alive here. Dubu having to be careful though because Ryze is jumping in onto the back lines. Will find the Chen. As now Saberlight continues to dish out a bit of this damage. He's very tanky. They'll have to blink strike away to protect Ryze's. They consider going back in again, but the slay here from Tomato. He sees Zero. He wants a kill on Mars. He's gonna be able to quite find it though. Bugs get tossed out, glimpse back over onto Tomato. Just gonna keep him in a cage for a little bit. Shaggy jumping back in, Cookie up forward. They have so much negative armor now over on Tomato. He's gotta run away. It doesn't look like he's gonna be able to quite make it. No, he gets the hex. There it is, there's the dagger from Ryze's.
All because Zero stayed genuinely for good reasons. Like, he's looking for opportunities to spear and help his team. Him going back to heal early wasn't value, but unfortunately when Ember rotated like that, he caught him with the sleight of fist and saw him. So he's like, oh my god, this guy's so killable. Drops all of his remnants and still didn't kill him. That's why Ember ends up being killable there. That great cookie plus stun land, it means that Ember makes a big mistake and dies. And if they can get this tower, this glyph is huge, it buys them some time, but they've got 60 seconds till Ravage, so killing Shaggy a second time is going to be tough.
Got a lot of negative armor like we talked about though. The Meld Strike plus the Death. So nice spear back though. Oh, the Static Storm landing over on several. This is looking so good for the side of Black with Yellow. They'll take down two as they'll go after the Cookie Hop coming forward. Shaggy cleaning up on Saberlight. What a beautiful Static Storm.
It was really good, but it was also that illusion rune on Bristleback that he had. There's so much minus armor. He got medallioned, he got gushed. That's like minus 10 armor before he got pressured. He pops the illusion rune, he removes a huge amount of those debuffs that made him killable, and as a result, that's why they're able to make a turn without even losing a single hero. So that means Shaggy's alive the whole time the Thunderdome comes in. Watch the pressure. Gush, he gets medallioned, things are looking bad. Here comes the Melt Strike, dodges that damage and the minus armor, and they get the Thunderdome combo. Just perfect teamfight execution. That's what you got to leverage if you're playing Bristle. You want to force your opponents into a fight that they think is going to be good, and they're like, nope, I'm super tanky. And doing that against top-level pro teams is really hard, because they're not going to make those mistakes often, but that illusion rune was just enough there for Black and Yellow to get a swing.
One of the things I love about Dota, sometimes it's just the smallest things they can turn the tide of a fight.
So as long as they can keep their tier 1 tower mid alive, they're going to be in a pretty good spot. It's going to die, though.
Yeah, the Chen army's on its way. They're smoked up over on the side of Undying. They have the Ravage if they want to try to make a play, and they find themselves a Shaggy here. So, you know, he's a very tanky guy, but there's so many bodies on him. There's so much negative armor. Doesn't have that illusion rune this time to dispel. And
that was a pretty big mistake by Shaggy. He kind of walked to his death there. I think he realized, like, oh, I should have defended this tower. Like, killing the Ancients is not better than keeping the tower alive. But it's also possible his team just didn't plan to defend that area, and as a result, he walks in. That was a really, really big mistake.
Nice little courier snipe. It is Ryze's courier. Slow him down just a little bit. But no items on it, so just a mild inconvenience. A little bit of gold's always nice, too.
When Meander's still pressuring so well across the map. Almost got Spirit Vessel. It's going to be excellent against Bristle, who is currently queuing up a Lotus Orb, which kind of solves both of his problems, really. It gives him armor, and it allows him to remove that. But ideally, he also has a lot more HP than he's currently working with. I don't think his itemization is wrong. I just wish he'd have, you know, an extra 500 HP or something. But he'll get there. If he gets to level 15, he'll be all right.
I'm sure Shaggy also wishes he had an additional 500.
Yes. 1,000, 2,000, you know, whatever. But his net worth is actually getting kind of mediocre. It's second highest on the map, but Browl's got a big difference here at this point. 1,500 extra gold over his opponents. He's got Deso finished, so it's just going to get easier for Brawl to deal damage.
It also feels like Brawl has just had a little bit more space. I feel there's so much pressure being placed on Shaggy to make these moves as Dupu wanders into quite a few heroes on the side of black and yellow. But the follow-up is here. Nice spear against the wall coming out from Zero to get a couple slights, and they have that troll creep. And they'll follow up with the Static Storm. So this Tide not going to be able to do what he likes here as Ryze jumps onto the back line. They'll go for the Ravage plays, just barely clips over onto this PA. Blink Strike away, though. As Tomato starts sliding around, Brawl's got a haste rune. They're considering going in. Tomato again, another slight. Just wants to continue poking. Rises, throws out the dagger.
Not bad so far. It was a good try on the Tide. I mean, it looked kind of goofy at first, but PA committing to it was a chance. He attacked about 3 times, didn't get a crit. Not surprising with that 15% chance, but if he did, that would have been Tide getting picked up. But in the end, decent. Like, they ravaged. PA doesn't end up getting killed on the response. Rises anticipates what he needs to do in the engagement. And they're only behind by 3K right now for black and yellow, so not going terrible. And Bristleback is a short Void Stone basically away from having his next item complete. So he's in a good spot too.
It seems to be keeping up with the tempo, but we also have some important mobility items that just got picked up. Yes, there it is. The Tide Hunter, of course, he's got his Blink, and the Mars also completing his Blink. So it's going to be one of those situations where who gets the jump on who, and who has the better follow-up.
I think it's safe to say that Mars Blink is more effective generally because your cooldowns are a bit lower. So it's and not to mention you can blink and spear somebody without ulting.
Right.
So Marses can get a lot done here, and then that's what they're going to try for. They got to do smoke, and let's see who they can grab with their combo here. They might want to play for Tomato, but I don't think they have vision. They see him now.
They're grouped up a little bit. They've got to be careful on the side of Undying.
Much easier to place forwards like this. Good choice.
Moon Meander's poking away at Shaggy. Tomato nearby.
They revealed Jubei though.
Be the glimpse back into the Static Storm, so they found themselves a support. This will be a pretty nice kill for them if they can finish them off. And God, though, no, they don't manage. Now the chase is on from Team Undying. Shaggy's taking so much damage from that Death of the Melt Strike. They've got a trap. The rest of the team just clicking away over at him. They get the stop. Long-range cookie hits here coming out from Dunao. So he's trying to shell, but there's nothing there.
He's trying to get Moon, but Moon's different.
He's too fast. He's moving too fast there.
Man, it looked like such an easy kill. Just a little Weaver, no problem, right? But he ends up staying alive there. I think the Mars might have missed his God's Rebuke. He also didn't want to arena because they didn't want to waste resources. It seemed like they would be able to get this kill, but he just tanked for so long.
Oh, they're hunting Rises. They know exactly where he is, but Blink Strike back over. Jace is on. There's the Gush. He's going to try to fight with Tomato. Doing a decent amount of damage, but I'm not sure it's going to be quite enough. Moon Meander jumping in. Oh.
He almost killed Moon.
Ooh.
That little
that cleave, yeah. That was pretty scary stuff. But this secures the Roche for the side of Undying.
We'll see. All of Chen's creeps just got destroyed. Bit of a tough one. Nah, they'll be okay. They've got Meld. Plus the Medallion. Dubu prioritized Medallion over Mech here. It's going to use that engagement once again. They glimpse and go for this here. There's the spear. I think his God's Rebuke missed. Chen did heal him as well and used his ultimate. That's what did the whole fight, really. Just Chen playing great.
It's just like 60-something hit points I think he got down to. And just...
It's a lot of heal. Yeah,
just at the right time.
So big save there from Moon Meander.
He's having a good game. I think we've seen him giggling to himself a couple times now.
Yeah, I feel like I've seen him play Weaver like literally every game.
He's so good with it.
Yeah, he's doing great.
And that's something that I feel Moon has always been very good at. If you look at when he plays these position 4s, especially things like Rubik as well, he's very good in his positioning and he knows exactly the limits on heroes.
Yeah, that's what you got to do to beat the pros. And the other thing that sucked about not killing the Weaver on time is that meant that Black and Yellow just committed overly long. Like, if they would have killed him quickly and then disengaged, they might have been able to play something, but that didn't buy them. Because they overcommitted, they died, and that's before Lotus Orb. They weren't ready to take, like, a full fight there. So it just made everything even harder to win, but... Almost level 15 for Shaggy. This will give him the HP that helps him, but he's just fallen off a little bit. Those couple deaths he's had have been really costly.
I feel like it's been a while since we've seen the mid Bristle back. Is this a concern, the way that he's starting to fall off a bit?
Absolutely, because Bristle's definitely a hero that wants to stay ahead, no doubt about it.
This is not good for him, though. They'll be able to walk away with that Lotus Orb. The follow-up, they've got Moon Meander. They've opened the Ravage play. Cookie Hop coming forward with that Static Storm. The Thunderdrum is up, but they still have the Chen who's going to be able to help keep them alive. Moon Meander, he makes it. How can he keep getting away with this? Zero will fall, so will Shaggy. And they're just going to chase down here, hit the tower, take some objectives. They know that they're strong right now.
Man, we were concerned about the damage that Undying had, but what's happening is the Chen is just offsetting that burst damage that Black and Yellow is putting out. Because they're trying so hard to kill this one guy. The Ravage was great to help offset and keep him alive, but once again, the Chen heals keep Weaver alive. Then he gets time-lapse off, and it's perfect, because it buys him enough time to full heal, basically. So... it's not even like he's low. He barely stays alive. He's low. He just time-lapses and he's like full again. And it's like worst case scenario for Black and Yellow because they've spent so many seconds trying to kill him. And now that this happened 2 fights in a row, the net worth lead is completely blown up. Undying is way ahead now.
Just being able to stay alive. Like, by all rights, Moon should have been dead at least twice in this game.
Absolutely, yeah.
But just very well-executed team fights and being able to hit your buttons quickly.
Makes a difference. And now Shard for Chen means that it's time for some Ancients to make his team a lot stronger. Let's see what he starts with. Got a Black Dragon here. I assume he'll take it. Yeah, he does. And his skill build's cool too. He's ended up maxing Penitence over Divine Favor. Doesn't care about the extra armor and regen, which makes sense. That skill's kind of crappy. 1 armor per level. Instead, with Penitence, he's able to buff up and amplify the damage they're doing to like Bristle. Like 120 attack speed when your TA is attacking Bristle is huge, for example. So that helps make their fights a little bit more one-sided as well.
Oh, okay.
Tomato getting a solo kill on enemy support. Nicely done. A glimpse back top. Ryle could be pressured here.
It feels... oh, he gets the courier. Chase after Jubei. The rest of the team immediately jumping back in. Although Bryle, again, he has the Aegis, so it's going to pop, but he's coming right back up again. Do they have a... yeah, they got the Atos that just got delivered here from Moon Meander. They've got those Vessel charges. They'll pop the trap. They'll slow down Shaggy quite a bit. Find themselves perhaps another courier. Now they're going to move it off. Shaggy taking the brunt of this damage. They're just chasing right past him here. So they follow up with that arena, but Zero, he doesn't want to be there. There's so much damage coming out from Bryle. The Atos again coming into play. Well, not going to be enough with that Meld Strike. And they'll turn their attention. Ooh, I thought Shaggy was going to get in with that. They're just diving right into their base. They'll find themselves another kill. Zero's going to buy off. Dunya's going to buy back. On top of that, these kisses coming in hot. They'll take down Bryle finally. But the rest of the side of Undying, perhaps they dove a bit too hard. Oh, they still don't manage to get the kill. He teleports out. Saberlight, he's so slow. Follow up with the Ravage. Tomato going to get a couple of these lights off. He takes down Jubei. Chase is on. Oh, Saberlight is slowing down. Got that little shredder. Can they finish off the Tide Hunters? Very tanky. The blink, though, coming up from Saberlight. He's going to be just fine as they'll find the kill on Zero. Tomato still looking healthy. Moon's sitting a little bit lower, but Dunya, he bought back for this. He's going to get the full die back as Rises jumping back into the fight. Well, I'm not sure about that. That's a triple kill now for Tomato. Rises?
There was a chance he gets a double kill there. You know, if he like crits Tide once or twice, he gets Moon Meander as well. But yeah, Black and Yellow just getting outplayed at this point. The
Greedy.
I mean, they're trying to force their opponents to engage. I get it, but they just were so close to getting so much in that fight. They almost killed Chen. They weren't able to kill Tidehunter either. That was really tough that he gets to disengage. And then the fact they also got cleaned up, thinking like, oh, that's fine, they ran away. But Undying basically fake back. Ember jumps back in, and they just get a bunch of extra kills that effectively mega offset all these buybacks that they had. Look at the net worth advantage now. Like, TA so far ahead. Ags picked up a whole 5,000 gold ahead of what Bristol's dealing with.
Yeah, Browse had a very comfortable game. Motto's only died once this entire time. We've got a full Aghanim Scepter completed for Tidehunter.
More minus armor.
It's going to be so much more.
It just makes it really hard to fight, basically, because when you're tied like this with a Soul Ring, what you do is you basically just like AoE gush the backlines. If you hit Disruptor or Snapfire, and TA goes on those people and commits a BKB, they die for sure without Ghost Scepter. And do they have one? No. Disruptor has just about 1,400 gold, so he could protect himself. Snapfire is very close as well. They're going to need Ghost Scepters here, because if they just get minus armored, they're going to have a really bad time. Gush is doing 380 magic damage, minus 6 armor. If they put a Deso and a Meld on top of that, they get 2-shot. So it's going to have to be Ghosts for them.
That always feels bad when you're kind of forced into a corner and you have to get something like a Ghost Scepter, because it doesn't, like, it keeps you alive, it allows you to get your spells, but it's not as nice as getting something like a utility item that's going to also have other benefits.
That you can use on other people is
yeah,
mainly
exactly.
the big thing. Because it's not just going to be them that's in trouble, it's going to sometimes be Bristleback. So that's basically how the fish will happen. Like, no pun intended, he's going to gush for the backline supports, and maybe they go on the supports, maybe they jump on a Bristle if Bristle's finally picked up enough bug damage or something like that.
Got that Thunder Hide, it looks like.
Ryze is going for a Manta again. He did this the other game that he played PA against EG. That was against a Batrider and a Terrorblade. And I argued that having Manta against those heroes is pretty good. Makes it hard to know which hero to Sunder, and it's hard to know which hero to Lasso if you jump on them. This game, it's not terrible either. Like, we saw how great the Illusion Rune was on Bristleback against all the minus armor. You can use it against Penitence. You can use it against Searing Chains that would prevent PA from going in or out. But it does certainly limit the hero's damage. It's not a very efficient damage item. It gives you some damage and okay attack speed. The movement speed's kind of trash because you're already fast anyways. So it's kind of a goofy item. But hey, this guy clearly likes Manta on PA. And the Illusions actually do crit. So there's good things about it as well. But traditionally, this would be seen as the wrong item build, certainly.
What would you have preferred to see Ryze's build in place of this?
I mean, if it's a normal PA game, you get Battle Fury here. Or sorry, BKB here instead.
Yeah.
That way, when you jump in on the right opportunity, you don't have to worry about Ravage stopping you. He's going to get Ravaged with his item build. But in the same vein, like, if he just gets, like, Searing Chainsed, and he's like, oh shit, I'm in trouble, he doesn't want to just pop BKB for that. Because it basically makes it so easy for Undying to fish. They gush him, they Searing Chains him, and then they blink forward, and then he's like, well, I have to BKB now. And then they just disengage and then reset again and do the same thing, and then you just end BKB. Manta's lower cooldown, it's less committal. It's just like more tricky stuff that you can do with the Manta. You can push out side lanes. So it's like BKB is on paper better, but it's probably not going to win them the game.
Does this,
because he's not ahead.
So my question is, when you look at this, right, because we talk about the BKB being the standard item that gets picked up for PA, that it indicates to me that, you know, they want to do a lot of team fighting early, in a sense, versus when you have this Manta build on Ryze's, perhaps he's thinking, you know, I'm going to just keep darting around. I want something that's going to be, you know, multi-use and try to dodge some of these fights while I continue to build up.
And not necessarily dodge fights, but also just add, like, chaos is what it does. And because no other PA plays with it that I've seen so far often, it does add some unpredictability. Like, he can dodge Meld Strikes. He can do a lot of things. If there's, like, a Bloodthorn or something that the TA or somebody else goes for, he can dispel it. So it's kind of goofy, but hey, they won last time with it. Maybe it'll happen again. But yeah, it will buy him some more time, certainly. It's going to make the game a little bit less formulaic, which is really powerful against pro players, because pro players are really good at, like, looking at the enemy squad. I mean, like, okay, I know how basically every fight is going to go on average, so I need to do X, Y, and Z every time. Like, I need to always dive their supports because they're annoying and hard to deal with. And when you add a Manta into the mix of that, it's like, oh, it's not going to be as straightforward as normal because he's going a weird item build. So it kind of, like, makes it harder to play against, which could be a big difference maker here.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes injecting a little bit of chaos is exactly what you need whenever things are just seeming like they're going too smooth for the enemy team. I mean, we can joke about like Eternal Envy, right? That's something that he does exceptionally well, is that sometimes you just really don't know what he's doing, and it's enough to kind of offset the balance of the game because he's in a place that you wouldn't expect. But of course, Envy not in this game. Looking at some of these item choices, though, the next item up for the Chen, for Dubu, is going to be the Ags, and that seems like it's going to be pretty nice.
Yeah, you don't see people buy this very often. I mean, there's not many Chen games, and frankly, most of the time you don't get that much net worth, but he's got a Philosopher's Stone. They're winning by a lot, and they changed Ags recently to Hand of God applies a strong dispel to all allies. So they're going to be able to use this if any of their important heroes get caught by Mars' ulti. If somebody gets speared to the wall, he pops Hand of God, and those heroes are going to be able to time-lapse or escape, or basically just stop taking damage there. Now, it's not gonna, like, if you're Disruptor ulted, you'll still be silenced, but it basically takes away a big win condition from Black and Yellow, which is killing one guy at the start of the fight. It's gonna make it much harder for them to do that. So
I mean,
once he gets it, it's good.
It's already been so difficult for them to get their hands on Moon Meander, right? How many times has he just escaped? This is going to make it even easier. And then also just Moon plays these heroes that just are always, you know, poking, always looking for the advantage and getting so much information through vision. So
Tier 2 is taken. Looks like they want to defend top. Tomato TP's top. He's going to spot Jubei. That guy looks dead.
Does have the Lotus Orb on him.
He's back.
No, it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
Nice by Moon. Jubei did the right thing with the glimpse back. It bought him a couple seconds before Tomato could zip across the map, but Moon's TP with the Lotus, or the Rod of Atos interrupts that.
A little bit of dewarding here coming out from Undying, and they've really just started to take over this map even more. Some deep wards placed over in the jungle. They're just trying to choke out Black and Yellow as much as possible. They know it's very important for both of these cores to keep accelerating, and they've stalled quite a bit now. Yeah,
I mean, they've got the net worth advantage, so it's pretty easy to force their opponents to run across the map inefficiently like that. Like, they rotate top, they get that support kill, now they get to invade the tri-camp, and that means PA's efficiency goes down a bit. He was able to buy his Manta, though, so he's going to be playing with that at this point. Bristleback's pretty close to Ags as well, so they've got some good stuff coming if they can finish it. But the issue is that Undying's not going to really slow down, and their heroes don't really have issues scaling right now, especially with the net worth advantage they currently have. So
yeah, it's a good blend too of being able to skirmish and take like these big team fights. You know, typically you see a Tidehunter, you think, okay, yeah, you know, you want to wait till he has that Ravage to be online, but with that Ag Scepter and being able to throw out the Gush, it's just also so valuable because of that AoE being able to reduce armor even further when you've also got the bugs, when you've also got the Desolator and whatnot.
So PA pushes that bot lane with Blur, then he's going to use Manta and send the Illusions forward to push a little bit more. He'll kill a creep or two here. Just give him a little bit of space.
Shadowblade now over on Bryle. Moon poking away at Shaggy. Go throughout the Atos. Oh, look at it. It's like he doesn't even have armor.
It's too hard against Swarm.
And everything else that they're tossing at him.
Yeah, I mean, Swarm's reducing his... Oh, man, another kill.
That's another kill.
Did he get Ghost Up? No, he's looking for buyback, so he doesn't want to buy it out, but it's costing him now.
God, this TA is literally everywhere now with that Ag Scepter.
It's hard to stop, and yeah, all of a sudden they get all these pickoffs, and these item timings that were coming just don't matter, because Undying is just crushing their opponents. They're high net worth and their big mobility. It's making it hard for them. Dude, even pulling a creep wave to get creeps on the towers faster, like he just doesn't care, dude. I don't even know where creeps are.
I don't know how they push them away on this. Like, they have all the solutions on Bryle at this point. Saberlight's very, very tanky. Moon has just been unkillable, it feels like. You know, they did manage to get a couple, but it took a lot of resource and time. And there's the Ags for the Ember Spirit.
First Drax finished. Do get a glimpse back, but Saberlight's going to blink out. No problems there. Ryze is even just like cutting creep waves on the enemy side of the map. It's going to get a courier for free. That feels good. But the net worth disadvantage is so massive. Second Roche is up now. That would be a shard dropping for Undying. Probably would go to TA.
Yeah, the silence on the traps is just way too good when you consider what you're looking at, because how many times, you know, has PA had to try to like blink out? But again, you know, we do have the Manta on her, so if she tries to do that a bit aggressively, they can punish it. Otherwise, she can take off the silence.
And it's great as well when he, if he's melt striking across the map anyways, like, he can get the little extra silence. Makes it easier for him to get kills if he finds somebody.
Yeah, like we said, shard going over to Bryle, Aegis online. God, Shaggy's been so close to getting this completed Ag Scepter.
Man, they both want the gold so bad.
Oh.
That was kind of lame there by Rise, in my opinion. Shaggy's literally 100 gold away from Ags. Takes the creeps. Come on, man. Does he got buyback? He does. Give Shaggy his Ags, and then they also bought a gem, because they know at this point it's like they're very close to losing. They need to get any map control they can, because that's going to potentially help them get a pick off. -4 armor talent for Tide picked up 2. Just gets worse.
It just does.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Bryle sieging away at the tower here. Again, has that Aegis. Look at the damage that's just able to output over onto Shaggy. The break applied. Oh my goodness. That's just a dead Bristleback.
He's got his
Step
egg.
forward here. Okay, going right into that dome. It doesn't even matter. And they'll throw out the Snapfire Kisses onto Saberlight. It's just not enough damage to fall. But the gosh, so much damage. He'll take out Rises. The GG gets called. Undying, proving that, you know, this is a TI level team. Tomato getting the rampage at the very end. Just having all the solutions in the move.